I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori. Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We crossing topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beaters through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now, we taking over. It's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now, miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now, we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud, miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Cause you listen to the Man Hour.
And welcome to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page and, of course, the blog section as well. If you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever, be sure to head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and hit that subscribe button to do upload the clips each and every day at 11 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. every Sunday through Thursday. And Fridays and Saturdays, we do the 8 p.m. hour as well. So you guys are getting us 5 times a day, every day, 7 days a week, all day, every day. So let's go ahead and welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tori Anderson, onto the show tonight at manhour_Tori on the old Twitter machines. And Tori, we have a fantasy football thing happening for the members only here. So if you guys are a member here on the youtube.com/manhour, for $2.99 a month, you get access to fantasy football every week from now until the end of fantasy football season. So Tori, tell the people what they can expect over there.
What can they expect? They can expect to win their fantasy football league. I mean, it's just plain and simple. I'm a winner. I want to make you a winner. I win my league, you win your league. We're going to go over who you should draft. We're going to go over the best players at each position. We're going to go over the players that you should be benching each week. We're going to talk about who you should be cutting, who's a great injury replacement, who's up and coming, who's going to go away. These are the things that we are going to talk about on a weekly basis. And the best part is, you see my little Twitter handle? Oh, there it is. Over here. No.
Opposite. There you go.
Right there. Tweet at me. Send me your questions. Ask me if this trade looks good. Ask me if who you should pick up. Whoever it is, tweet at me and get at me and let me help you win your league. Help me help you.
Exactly.
Help me help you.
Yeah, and one person that is joining you on that fantasy clip as well is Mr. Wyatt Williams at manhour_TWW, the Wyatt Williams. So, Wyatt, you are an habitual second place winner of your fantasy football league year in and year out. So, what kind of advice can you offer to second place people?
Well, I can offer you great advice on what they call the not just the regular season, but the mid-season turnaround. Okay, and what that is the Wyatt specialty, especially last year. I started off 2-7 and ended up in my league championship and lost by 4 points, if that tells you anything. I was killed by injuries and everything, so I can absolutely help you with your waiver wire. That is my specialty, I would say, is the waiver wire, which players to pick up, which week, and all that stuff. But, man, when it comes to championship week, though, we're going to have to turn all things to Tori because I don't know what it is. I'm so great all the way leading up till that championship week and still find a way to lose it every time. Last year, I had a 93% chance of winning my league with a minute left in the Colts game. And Jonathan Taylor finished off the game with like a 80-yard touchdown run. And I literally watched my fantasy football season go away and I lost. And I was just like,
so
gotta be kidding me right now.
So we do have the fantasy clips happening. They'll be uploaded every Wednesday by 11 a.m. East Coast time for members only. So this July 4th, though, guys, we are giving you a free sample of what you can experience. So July 4th here at 8 p.m. Eastern time here at youtube.com/manhour, we will premiere a free sample of what you guys can expect. So youtube.com/manhour, click that join button as little as $2.99 a month. get all your fantasy news. And basically, guys, I was searching the internet, and that is the cheapest fantasy news great fantasy news that you can get, because they're like ESPN's charging like $12 like a week or a month or something like that. And it's absolutely crazy. So $2.99, it helps support the show, helps us get us out there, and helps get more eyes on us, and helps us grow. So with all that being said, guys, Tori, how was your day? I got to ask you.
I spent most of my day, and you guys saw my messages, I spent most of my day doing interviews today. It is the last thing I will be doing before I start my new career, when I, do interviews all day, every day. So this will be the last thing I volunteer to help with within my current position. So I did interviews literally all day. It's great because I do get to talk to all different people all day long. However, when you're saying the same thing and asking the same questions for like 6 hours in a row, no bueno. That's just
so basically what you do on the man hour is you say the same thing over and over and over, but we just don't listen.
Right. Because then I'm like, well, if you would have listened to me what I said yesterday.
Right.
So
Wyatt, how was your day?
My day was good, boys. Other than the fact that,
Other the fact that Wyatt has hit adulthood and we muted him before the show has even started. No, seriously though, Wyatt, how was your golf game?
I didn't get to golf today, actually. It was raining a bunch and thunderstorming in the area. So I know I didn't get to golf today. It was weird.
Did you wake up at 1:30 in the afternoon too, and like you needed a nap?
I actually woke up before 1 today too. So it was a really bad day, actually.
It was 12:57.
I woke up before 1. I didn't get to golf. I had to go out and get a job. I found that out too, guys. This adulting thing is coming. It's coming fast.
Man, life is so rough.
You've got the next, at least 50 years to look forward to that.
Right.
Well, at least you get to spend at least 2 hours of night with us here on the Man Hour moving forward. And guys, this is the best damn sports show out there, as BC Brandon Combs gets to say. Hopefully he is doing well in his current state, because apparently they like to cut power lines while working on stuff. So hopefully he's getting that.
BC's not having a good afternoon.
So, guys, we do have some action-packed sports coming up tonight. We are going to talk some Scottie Pippen. He was on the Dan Patrick Show, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, we got to talk about Ohtani, Mr. Showtime himself, 26 home runs this season. Man, he is on a tear. It would not surprise me one bit, guys, if he does win the home run derby here in about, 15 days, I think it is. I believe it's July 16th, is home run derby, right? Or is that the All-Star? Yeah,
it's the day before the All-Star game is all I know.
And we also got the Guess Who game coming up here at the 8:45 hour here. So here in about a half hour, we're playing some Guess Who. And, of course, we got the Buy, Sell, Sleeper segment tonight. Guys, we're going to do the New York Football Jets. But first, before we get into all that, Tom Brady is opening up. He has been on countless interviews. And the most recent interview that he was on a HBO show, and he said, and I quote, what I say during the press conferences is 90% opposite of what I think. So basically what he was saying, if a receiver is great, or if a cornerback is great, he actually means he sucks, and he's going at him all game long. Why? Are you buying into what Tom Brady is saying, or is he saying opposite of what we want him to think?
It's so confusing, honestly. Like, I want to say that, he's lying, but at the same time, wouldn't that kind of explain his mindset being different than everybody else's? I mean, think about it. This guy's mindset is unlike any other in sports. It's ridiculous. So is that the key to it? I mean, I have no clue. There's something here, and like I said, I don't know if he's lying. I don't know if he's telling the truth. I don't know what to think, because it's Tom Brady. Like, at the end of the day, if I found out he was lying, whatever. If at the end of the day, if I found out it was true, I wouldn't be that surprised, honestly. I mean, the guy is just different in the way he plays football, in the way he prepares, in the way he, trains his body. I mean, the guy is just different. He's a different breed. So, no, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he's got some kind of a mental warfare. It's the same thing Michael Jordan used to do Michael Jordan used to make up stories in his head about other players doing stuff and then turn around and go crazy on them, like Clyde Drexler with the Trailblazers. He said that Clyde said something like, this is my league to him or something like that. And, he said that Mike came out and said that he said that and he played great and all this stuff. And then at the end of the finals, Mike came out and was like, yeah, no, he never said that. I just did that to pump myself and the rest of my teammates up. Like, just did it. Like, I'm sure there's something going on in Tom Brady's brain where he just does things different than everybody else. He's got to. It's how he's Tom Brady. So, no, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was true.
Tori, what are your thoughts on that? Like, are we seeing a new Tom Brady, and are you buying into what he's telling us here?
I don't know. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I don't put a lot of stock into it at this point. He's saying he's great, but he sucks, but he really thinks he's great. Like, it's just nothing but a mind game right now with Brady. And if you ask me, it's like going away from home for the first time and being away from your parents. You get a little wild, you get a little crazy, you got that little bit of freedom because he doesn't have Belichick there anymore.
You're saying he's living his college life?
I thoroughly believe he is living his college life right now. His parents got him a credit card. He's racking up debt. And then he's like, how come I can't buy lunch?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Tom Brady's ever going to have to worry about buying lunch.
Yeah. He has like a supermodel wife that makes more money than he does or something like that. So yeah,
right.
I'm sure they're doing fine. And
I'm sure they're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like every time I think of Tom Brady and like every time I hear him talk, I mean, like, yes, we always want to boost the ego up of the opponent that we're playing so we can crush them in the end. So I absolutely 100% believe everything that like he is saying. It's like, oh yeah, that's a great cornerback, yada, yada, yada. But I want to go at him and smash him every freaking time I see him just because, that's the competitor that I am. I don't care how good he thinks I think he is. So like, I think that he thinks that I think, something crazy like that. So as Jameson comes in the chat, what's up, Jameson? Long time no see, pal. He says Tom Brady is the GOAT. I mean, yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that.
I'm pretty sure that's just not even an argument at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe if he only had 3 rings and was like tied with Montana, like it's a different story.
Is it though?
You have 7 rings.
Yeah.
There's no debate. It's ended debate. Game over.
It's like 7 rings and 10 Super Bowls, and so he's in a Super Bowl every other year. Yeah, so it's absolutely crazy. And then Jameson also says that Tom Brady was held back by Belichick. We see the real Tom Brady. Yeah,
with the real Tom Brady. Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up.
Why? How's that coffee, man?
It's good. It's good. Just
is it?
I mean, he woke up. He woke up at 12:53, so it was before 1. So he's like, "Oh my god, man, coffee, man! Oh, I need this coffee. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I don't know how I'm awake. Oh
don't
my god,
do the hand motion and say that ever again. Please.
Can you say that one more time? Yeah.
Don't do
oh my god, it's so good.
Please.
All righty, guys. So we are going to get to our first little break. On the other side of the break, we got sports headlines coming up. We're going to talk Scottie Pippen on the Dan Patrick Show. Wyatt is going to tell us about what's going on with that.
I'm going to rant. I'm going to go crazy.
And then we got some Dak Prescott action in the NFC East. Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East and better than San Francisco 49ers right there, Jameson. And we got some Ohtani coming up as well. And of course, we're going to buy, sell, and sleeper picks for the New York Football Jets. All coming up here on the Man Hour, guys. We'll be right back. ManHourRadio.com. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buck has on with Tori Anderson and the Wyatt Williams tonight. Head over to manhourradio.com and pick yourself up some merchandise. We got new clothing dropping every month from now until the end of the year. So be sure to head over there, check out the new merchandise, and pick up a t-shirt. A little $15 a month. You can pick up a great t-shirt. Actually, Wyatt has on one tonight. So let's bring the boys back onto the screen here. And Wyatt has the OG Man Hour logo there. And we got the new baseball tee. We got the alternate Man Hour logo. And coming July 1st, guys, are you ready for this? Waffle merch. Wyatt Williams inspired waffle merch. So if you guys are new to the show here, Wyatt is a hashtag waffle 90% of the time. So he has to waffle all the time over there. So if you guys are new here, head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and hit the subscribe button. We are on a goal to 1,700 subscribers by the end of the week. And we are what, Tori? 9 away, I think, like at last check.
9 away.
9 away. So if you guys can head over there and subscribe, that'll be fantastic. So Wyatt, I'm going to kick it to you first here. Tell us what is going on with Scottie Pippen and Dan Patrick.
Okay, so this whole ordeal kind of started with the beef that he had with Kevin Durant, and that was, for some weird reason, I have no clue why, he came after Kevin Durant. I don't have what he said. I will find it whenever I pitch it to the other guys.
He basically was saying Durant was chasing rings, hanging on the coattails,
right?
As like the role player, like,
yeah, in a nutshell. And then,
who the hell were you, Pippen?
Right, exactly. And that's what KD brought up. KD was like, dude, you were the biggest number 2 in NBA history. Like, your whole job was to just follow suit to what Michael did, which he did. They won 6 rings doing that. So they get into this whole ordeal, and you know, it's kind of calmed down now, but then he goes on the Dan Patrick show. And part of the thing that Kevin Durant said was, weren't you the guy who got all upset whenever Phil Jackson chose Tony Kukoc to take the last shot instead of you, and you went and sat on the bench and cried like a little crybaby, which he did. He absolutely did that. There was nothing wrong with it. Tony Kukoc was a better shooter. It's you want, in the last seconds of the game, you want the ball in your best shooter's hands 100% of the time. I was about to say 9 times out of 10. No, 100% of the time. And then he comes on the Dan Patrick show, and Scottie Pippen claims that Phil Jackson was racist. So he's racist because he chose the better shooter to take the last shot. That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. This has nothing to do with race. This has absolutely everything to do with the fact that Scottie Pippen is just mad because he came after somebody for being a riding the coattail when that's all he did his entire career. That was his job. Then he comes on the Dan Patrick show and calls Phil Jackson a racist because he chose a better shooter to take the last second shot. So Phil is a racist because he's a smart basketball mind? Are you kidding me? Pip, come on, dude. What is the whole deal? And it's weird. He's been acting like this all the last year-ish, something like that. He's just got a bigger mouth. He's saying stupid stuff 24/7. I don't even know where do you guys see it all how Phil is a racist for choosing a better player to score the last shot? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, Tony Kukoc was supposed to be the next generation for the Bulls after Michael. That's how the whole ordeal with Jerry Krause started, because Tony Kukoc was brought in to be that next guy, and Michael didn't really like that. So that was the whole point. He was there to be a good shooter. He was the shooter for that team, and then he did what he was supposed to. Phil Jackson put the team in the best situation to win. That's your job as a coach. Your job as a coach is to put players in position to win. And he did things like that. Phil Jackson did it a lot. I mean, look how many rings he won with MJ, 11, with Kobe.
11 or 12 rings. I mean,
right, exactly. Like there's no point for this. And then all of a sudden now Pippen's calling him a racist. I don't get it at all, but I want to toss it around to you guys. Tori, you first. Any feeling of racism here at all?
I'm going to do my best imitation of somebody from the South right here. He done lost the damn mind. I don't know where he got that from. Pippen, I really don't know. Like, where does this come from? Like I said, like when he originally made the contact or the quote about KD's a number 2 and riding coattails, I was like, literally, you are the biggest number 2 of all time. Like when Michael retired and it became your team, you became barely above 500 team. You were still a playoff team, but you were not an elite team anymore. So were you really a superstar or not? You were a great Robin to a great Batman, actually the GOAT Batman. So it's not really, there's nothing behind it. There's no validity behind it. He got traded to the Rockets. It was him and Barkley, and they didn't do a ton there, which makes me sad because I'm a huge Barkley fan. I loved Charles Barkley as a player. And
they were also super old at that time too, so nobody was really expecting a green kind of that.
Well, but the thing is that team, that was still a pretty well-built team at that point. So
was Hakeem still there at that time, right?
No, I think Hakeem was gone. I think they had traded him at that point.
Okay.
Because I think if they would have still had Hakeem, they probably would have done a lot more.
That would have been crazy. Can you imagine one of the greatest perimeter defenders of all time, Scottie Pippen? You throw in Charles Barkley, who was a great shooter. Then you put in Hakeem the Dream. That would have been insane.
With Sam Cassell and Big Shot Bob.
Right. Wow.
So
still, Buck, I'm going to toss to you now, buddy. Do you see any kind of issue here at all?
Well, let me have Tori finish his thought there first. Go ahead, Tori.
Sorry, Tori.
Thanks for just, cutting off my thought process altogether. So, but no, with Scotty, there's nothing behind Scotty. Like, I don't know if it's a sense of he wants to be in the limelight, what it is. Maybe he is going through something personally that he's just like lost it, and he's just going to say whatever it is. Phil Jackson is not a racist. Phil Jackson is one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time in the NBA. Phil Jackson took any team that he wanted and turned it into a championship contender.
He is the greatest.
So I would say
he turned every team into a championship contender. What about the Knicks?
He didn't. Did he actually coach? Oh yeah, he did coach the Knicks for a little while.
He did.
He set that franchise back 10 years easily.
Not as the head coach. Not as the head coach.
Always been set back 10 years.
Right. James Dolan set that franchise back 30 years as soon as he bought it. I put more of the blame of that on James Dolan. And I would even venture to say some, because it was Phil Jackson and Isaiah Thomas there at the same time, if I am not mistaken. I think Isaiah was the GM or the president of the club, one of the two.
Yeah.
And we all know how that ended, with a lot of allegations against Isaiah Thomas of misconduct within the organization as well. So I don't think you put a lot of that on Phil Jackson. I think a lot of that goes to James Dolan and Isaiah Thomas for the way things were run. I do think that when Phil did take over the GM role, he did not make some great decisions. However, I think the wheels for atrocity and being irrelevant were set in motion way before that. But anyways, we're getting way off topic off of what Scottie Pippen is actually doing. So, but Scottie, it's like I said, Scottie has just lost it. I don't know. He may be going through something personal, stuff like that, where
I know he just lost his son.
Right. But we've all had moments in our life. I don't care who you are. You have had a moment in your life and you have just said, F it. I am just going to do whatever I want, because at this point in time, I could really care less. So I think maybe he's going through that. Maybe he's having that moment where he's like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just going to speak my mind, and that's what it's going to be. Could very well be that too. He may come out 2 months from now and be like, you know what? I was going through a really bad spot right then and there. I said some stuff. I really didn't mean it, and apologize. And then guess what? We're all going to probably forgive him and be like, all right, man, we get it. You were going through some stuff at that point.
So why you bring up some personal issues here, and a timeline of his life in the last, let's say 2 years, since 2019, he was fired from the Chicago Bulls of being their player advisory role. And it was not sure why he was fired, but he come out and said that he was fired, and the Chicago Bulls haven't publicly spoke on it since. And then he lost a son, his second child, as we discussed pre-show here, and then he was fired from ESPN, the Jump, right around the same time that Paul Pierce was like fired too. So that kind of tells me that something is not right in the guy's head, whether he's going through a depression or, something is,
something's happening.
Yeah, it is the snowball effect, and maybe he just needs to get out there, speak his mind, and be the guy, in the limelight to get out of his funk, because sometimes people just need to get out of the funk and they do something crazy, they go get hammered drunk and chase a possum down the street, or something crazy, right? But so he wants to be in the limelight, so he goes after Kevin Durant, which there is nothing wrong with being second fiddle to the greatest player of all time. I mean, there's nothing wrong to that, like at all. And then he, goes on the Dan Patrick show. So maybe he's just trying to get out of his funk. I mean, maybe we need to reach out to Scotty, hey, do you need a friend? Do you need a shoulder? Because, he does have 7 baby mamas and child support is adding up, and, he is no longer working for ESPN or the Bulls. And so maybe he needs some money, maybe he just needs a support system, I'm trying to make light of a bad situation here, but guys, think about this. We are seeing a downward spiral of this guy since 2019. He's been fired from the Chicago Bulls, fired from ESPN, and he lost his son. So maybe this is just his way of crying out for help. Ever think about that?
There's easier ways to ask for help. I need
we
help.
We are all men. We don't ask for help.
Are we manly men? We're men in tights. So no, I don't.
Bo came out and said it. He's pushing a new book and it's bourbon. So he is trying to pull the big baller brand and get free publicity.
I bet.
Could be.
Oh God, guys, we got a serious one here. Tim Tebow is tuned into the show. Timmy, what's going on, man?
That would be Joey again.
Yeah, I bet it is.
All right, guys.
Because
let's
Joey
go ahead.
got put in timeout.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, and we are going to talk. If I can pull it up, man, this effing computer, boys. Ever since 2 girls, one cup, I tell you.
Way to go, Wyatt.
Way to go.
Way
Wyatt.
to corrupt our innocent virgin
I should have
mind.
never told.
Yeah.
With that,
should have never told Buck to look that up.
Phil.
Is are you sure you want to proceed to the site? It has a virus on it. Yes, I do. I want to see girls pushing ice cream out of their mouth into cups. That's what I want to do. 100%. All right, back on track. Back on track. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys here. So if you guys did not know, the Dallas Cowboys are the Vegas odds to win the NFC East. Dak Prescott had a brutal injury last year in week 5, dislocated his ankle, and I think he broke his leg too, if I'm not mistaken. But it was very, very gnarly. But Dak says he is
gnarly is the right word.
He is back 100%, and he actually looked like him old self during minicamp and OTAs just about a month ago here. But Tori, does Dak have a huge season in 2020-2021?
I think so. And for as much as I dog on McCarthy, the reason he has a big season is because of McCarthy. Because McCarthy will throw the ball 50 times a game. So I think, yes, he actually does have a huge season this year. And he throws the ball a ton. And it's because partially, too, they're going to be behind by so much. Because they're not that good of a team. They are not going to win. I would take money. I would take the field of the NFC East over the Cowboys winning that division right now. So I am not a believer, especially since I've got the Washington football team picked to go 13-4 to win that division. However, I think Dak has a huge year. he's right in that conversation for comeback player of the year after that injury. So yes, I think absolutely has a huge year. I would not be shocked to see him drop 45 touchdown passes this year.
And Brian Pearl actually has the Eagles going 11-6 this year. It's probably 11-7 since they're playing that 17 game season. So it takes a lot of us to get used to that stupid odd number crap, but whatever. Nonetheless, Wyatt, does Dak Prescott have a big year?
I think I will say I'm pulling for him to. I think he will. I'm definitely pulling for him to because
Wyatt, you went one sentence and you waffled already.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, I think so. I'm at least hoping he does. Not because of the Cowboys or anything, because I hate the Cowboys, but I do like Dak, and I'm pulling for him to come out of this, injury. It was a gnarly one, as we mentioned. So I mean, he's got a lot of weapons around him. He's got a good offensive line, and if he's ever gonna win a Super Bowl in his career, he's got to do it now because they've spent so much money on him and 4 other star players around him, Zeke, Amari, Jalen. They've spent so much money on those 4 that it's like 70% of their cap room. So they're going to lose like 90% of their team coming up in the next couple of years. So, I mean, if he's going to do anything, he's got to do it now. So I think he has a big year. He's getting paid like he's going to have a big year. That's for sure. But
go ahead.
But I think he has a good comeback year. I think it's between him and Saquon for comeback player of the year.
Well,
and I think Tori brought up a good name earlier was Tariq Cohen. I think that's another candidate.
So with all that being said, Wyatt, you waffled around the answer like you normally do. And Tori, you gave me a straight answer, even though it is wrong. I mean, the Cowboys are going to have a great year, 100%. The Dallas Cowboys right now, guys, are the only team besides the Detroit Lions that can go toe-for-toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Dallas Cowboys will give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a run for the money in the NFC playoffs. I see them playing in the second round. The Cowboys are probably, since they're going to win the division, they'll probably be a 3rd seed, and then the Buccaneers will be a 2nd or a 1st seed, depending on how the Saints do, I guess, in that division. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys will play each other, and the Cowboys will go toe-to-toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Mr. Tom Brady, the GOAT himself, is going to be like, man, this Dallas Cowboys defense is something else. They are, hands down, the only team that can go toe-to-toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Dallas Cowboys are a real deal. Dak Prescott's going to have a great season. 45 touchdowns is not a reach. 5,000 yards is not a reach. They're going to average 38 points a game, Tori. Average 38 points a game.
Folks, I apologize. Buck has been drinking, and apparently we need to bring him to like a center somewhere to dry out, because this is ridiculous, and literally none of it will ever happen.
What do you mean none of it will ever happen? You are telling me that Dak Prescott will not throw for 45 touchdowns? You just said that yourself.
I did.
Dak Prescott will not throw for 5,000 yards on that pace to throw 45 touchdowns.
He will not go toe-to-toe. He will not go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady.
You are right.
Will not be
he will not
3.
go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady, but he will beat that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. He doesn't have to beat Tom Brady because the Cowboys defense will shut Tom Brady down.
What defense? Are we seeing the same defense? Am I watching a different football game, Tori, or like?
I don't know. Is Deion Sanders back on the Cowboys?
Did the Dallas Cowboys, yes or no, did the Dallas Cowboys add much needed pieces on the defensive side of the ball during the draft?
I mean, they added
linebacker. It doesn't mean anything, though. They got to fit. They got to go in and play.
Okay, so Sean Lee retired, and they literally hired his clone that's 20 years younger. Or not hired, but they...
No, I mean, Micah Parsons is great, but... I mean, the linebacker core for them was already insane. They've already got Jalen and Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch, as is, can't stay healthy. He's just like Sean Lee.
He'll be fine.
But their DB core still needs work. Their defensive line still needs work. I mean, their linebacker core is really the only thing defensively that I can say is good. I mean, everything else is just, it's not. Like their DB crew is terrible ever since Byron left.
No. I'm telling you guys, the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to step up and be a top 10 defense this year. Them and the Detroit Lions will be battling for the 9 and 10 spot defensively ranked this year. 100%.
Buck, what do you want to put on that? Because I will take that money. I will take your paycheck for that one.
Take my paycheck. Well, you have to fight Cindy over the paycheck. You know how that works. Let's bet shaved faces. So clean
Oh
shave.
God,
Tori's
Clean
face
shave.
is already shaved.
Now he's got
No.
a little
I
goatee.
did it. Yeah, I had to trim it up because A, interviews, and B, I had to go look at places to live, and I can't go in and looking like a hobo. So because these are some pretty high.
This is my first house I've ever owned.
What do
So,
you
shaved faces?
what is that there? Electricity?
That's a bed. I've never had one of those before.
So you guys are
I will
realistically telling me that Dak Prescott is going to have a great season, but the Cowboys aren't going to have a great season. How does that
Yes.
How does that add up?
Because when you're behind, you throw the ball a ton. You can.
Well,
pad
Dak
stats
Prescott
when
was
you're
one of the
losing.
top quarterbacks in the league last year, and the Cowboys weren't a top team, and he was hurt for all of the year.
The Cowboys were
still-
3-2 when he got hurt.
He passed for like what? How many thousand? What was it? 2,000 yards in the first 5 weeks? Was it
Yes. So did Patrick
something
Mahomes.
crazy like that? I mean, he was averaging like 450 yards a game and like
So?
4 touchdowns.
And if they would have continued that pace, they would have been a 12-win team.
No, they wouldn't have.
Yes, they would have.
No,
No, they wouldn't.
Because that
I don't
defense
think so.
came around about week 9, week 10. They started to like click and do well.
No,
they didn't.
I will take that bet. Except I'm going to take it a step further. If the Cowboys defense finishes in the top 10,
Ooh.
I will shave my face and my head.
How about this?
Bald.
Let me
will
see your
go
arms.
baldy.
Do you have a hairy arms? Because I
No,
got
I
some
don't.
hairy ass arms.
I don't. I have.
we can
barely
shave
any
arms.
hair.
Shave
I
your
have-
legs.
I don't have hardly any hair on my legs either.
Wow. That must be an army thing because my dad doesn't have any leg hair either.
I always joke. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can't die because the army said this is what we're injecting into you. I have no clue what they put in my body. Like I could have been like, they could have at least gave me like the Captain America like super soldier serum instead of like giving like now I'm just fat.
Yeah. All righty. So let's go ahead and move on from football and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball because this guy, guys, right now, he is off the charts. Ohtani, he is a pitcher / DH for the Angels. If you guys do not know him, but he hit his 26th home run last night. I believe that's leading the league actually and first in Yankee Stadium. Fun fact, he has hit 9 home runs in his last 12 games as a pitcher and a DH, I should say. So about a week ago, guys, we talked about him possibly winning the MVP and if it was a reach or not. And we said it was kind of a reach, but not out of the realm. A week now has passed. And Tori, is it time to put Ohtani as a favorite as the MVP for 2021?
I said it last week when we talked about it. I said that would be amazing that if he won the Cy Young as a pitcher and won the MVP as a hitter. I 100% believe that, yes, he can win it as a hitter. He is one of the leading contenders in the AL to win that AL MVP. I think he will win it come the end of the season. He has showed no signs of slowing down. All he has done is strengthen his stance as one of the players. He is not the league leader, but he is tied for the major league lead for home runs, I do believe, with like 2 other players. And so I do think, yes, he does have a chance to win that MVP. I would love to see it because that would just be amazing to see a guy win the Cy Young and the MVP at 2 different positions in 1 year. I know Wyatt said he doesn't think that the voters will do it, but guess what? It's never been done before. And what's cool to do in this day and age, do something that's never been done before.
And baseball needs a worldly face, much like the NBA has the Greek Freak and
Luka.
Major League Baseball needs Ohtani to be great, just so the sport can explode like basketball has. Why? What are your thoughts? Is it time to put Ohtani as MVP favorite here?
I think he absolutely deserves it. And kind of jumping off what Tori said, I still think that the voters won't do it. But do I think that he deserves both? Most definitely. I'm not trying to take away anything from Ohtani. Ohtani is one of those players that, like, okay, baseball is only as good and as exciting as its best players. Those exciting players are what draw people to the game. Ohtani is one of those guys. Ohtani is one of those guys that you can watch play baseball and be mesmerized at the fact that he just threw a 101 mile per hour pitch right down the middle. Then at his next at bat, rips one out into left field at 350 feet. I mean, he's this worldly talent. And you're absolutely right. The MLB needs this. It's a huge thing for them. If they can get him going and get him to be in a sense, a face of the league, that would be huge. I mean, we would have tons of players filtering in from all over the world. And that's something that, like you all mentioned, the NBA has done really well. But I absolutely think that he deserves a shot at both, 110%. The problem is, will the voters give him a shot at both? I doubt that. I don't see it happening. But I would love for it to. I would absolutely love for it to. I love Ohtani. I love watching him play. I love everything he does. He is the second most exciting player in baseball right now. A very close second, right behind Tatis. But like I said, a very exciting player, a lot of fun to watch. And I absolutely think he deserves it, but I just don't. I don't think the voters will get him there.
Yeah.
So did you just say that Trevor Bauer's not a good player?
Huh?
You just said Trevor Bauer's not good because you got
Trevor Bauer is the greatest pitcher in MLB history.
Then how's he not your number one or number two player right now? You got Ohtani and you got Tatis. So
no, you didn't hear me. I stuttered. I said that they were 2 and 3, and Bauer was 1.
So
you didn't hear me right.
So just to add what you guys are saying here, I pulled up the AL odds to win the AL Cy Young this year, and right now Ohtani is not even in the top 5. It looks like Garrett Cole, Carlos Rondon, and Danny Duffy are leading the way for AL Cy Young here in the early season. So just some food for thought on that.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and jump over to the chat here. So Bo says that Dak Prescott was on pace for 6,700 yards last season. Yeah, I mean, he definitely was. He definitely would have came back down to earth because that defense was stepping up and doing good things. So, I mean,
Definitely
Joey says he cannot watch us anymore. Well, sorry, Joey.
I'm just guessing Joey can't watch anymore because it's past his bedtime.
No, it's because we're talking the Dallas Cowboys and they are the best team out there. And and then Bo says the Cowboys D will give up 60 passing touchdowns. Well, which is fine. They can do that in the first 6 games of the season and start the season 0-6 and still be 11-7 by the end of the season. Exactly what they're going to finish.
About. Do you hear yourself? You cannot believe what you're saying right now.
Jameson says Buck is a Cowboy homer. The Cowboys are my second team. So
he's a closet Cowboys fan.
Oh my God.
I'm not a closet Cowboys fan. The Cowboys have always been my second team. I have always been a firm believer, like Torrey in Major League, that you have a NFC team and an AFC team, and the Cowboys have always been my NFC team. So if you guys want to secretly know, I'm secretly a closet Lions fan. I hope they do well every year, to be honest with you. 10-7 this year, winning the division.
Thing, but they get disappointed every year.
10-7 this year. All right, guys. So we are going to take our next break. On the other side of the break, we have the infamous game of Guess Who. Guess Who is brought to you by Brooks Roofing. So head over to brooksroofingin.com and check out all their siding and roofing needs over there. That's brooksroofingin.com. Be right back after the short little break. Oh, wrong button, Michael. There we go. There, that one.
What is your name?
What?
What is your name?
Buck.
Where did you get that shirt?
It's funny that you should ask that. Head over to manhourradio.com. You can pick up the shirt up. $15.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheist along with Tori Anderson and the Wyatt Williams tonight. You can always find us on Twitter at manhour_Buck, manhour_Tori, and of course, manhour TWW. As a sneeze comes in, listen to the intro. My bad, guys. Allergies are kicking my butt. So, we do have Guess Who coming up, and Guess Who is exactly what it sounds like. I'm thinking of a player, NFL, Major League Baseball, or NBA, and Wyatt and Tori asked a yes or no answer to guess the player that I'm thinking of. Right now, Tori is dominating the series by a lot to a little. Wyatt did sweep it last time
I was
played.
On fire last time.
So I don't think you will win tonight. I'm just going to put that out there. So since you are the reigning champ from last night, you won last week. You want to go first or second tonight, there, Mr.
I want to go
Williams?
first all night.
You want to go first all night? Wow,
it's my lucky charm.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. So you get the first question tonight.
All right. Long shot here. Are they in the AFC?
No.
Is it Chris Middleton?
No. That would have been great.
I was about to say, if you guess that, oh man, I'd be so mad. Do they play basketball?
No.
Do they play baseball?
Yes.
Yikes! I'm probably not going to win then. Okay. Are they in the AL?
Are they in the AL? No.
Are they in the NL East?
No.
Are they in the NL Central?
No.
Are they in the NL? What's the other division?
West.
The West.
That's
yes.
By process of elimination. Yes, they're in the West. Good job there, Tori.
Come on, Tori. That was a Wyatt question.
That was actually done intentionally.
Okay, so do they play for the Giants, Dodgers, or Padres?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they a pitcher?
No.
Do they play for the Dodgers?
No.
Do they play outfield?
Did you give an answer? Do they play outfield?
Oh, I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Oh.
What's the question?
I said, do they play outfield?
No.
Okay. Do they play for the Padres?
Yes.
Okay.
Do they play second base?
No.
Is it Manny Machado?
No.
Is it Eric Hosmer?
No.
I feel like I want to go obvious here with Tatis, but I feel like that's just way too obvious that you wouldn't go with Tatis. Yeah, is it Fernando Tatis?
It is Fernando Tatis. It is.
That's like the third time you've used Tatis.
No, it's not. That's the first time I played Tatis. Very first time.
I was about to say you Darvish, but then it hit me. You said they weren't a pitcher, and I was like, no.
I was
not
going
an outfielder and it's not a pitcher. We've named all the infielders except for Tatis.
Okay.
Like it's got to be Tatis.
That was a great question right there,
play
Joey.
Disc golf. Yes, they do. Did you guys see where like the disc golf world championship, that dude from the tee box put it in on a hole in one, something like that?
It's called an ace story. Or why it's called an ace.
Sorry.
Are they a world ranked kite surfer?
Yes.
But like, did you see like he hit it? He hit the shot to send it to like whatever disc golf's overtime is, extra holes or whatever. He sent it to that, and like the whole place went nuts. Like they started like, everybody rushed onto the field, started celebrating. It was crazy.
You know how much you won for winning that tournament?
How much?
$15. I was gonna say a $15 gift card to Hot Topic.
Yeah.
You want a $25 gift card to Chick-fil-A.
and a 5% off coupon to Bath and Body Works.
Yeah. A buddy of mine is a sponsored disc golf professional dude. And what he gets is he gets free disc and like a $500 for every tournament that he plays in. So it's not a whole lot happening over there.
Not much.
I got better stuff when I was a rock, paper, scissors player than disc golf people.
Yeah.
Right.
All righty. So, Wyatt, you are leading tonight 1-0, so you get to pick first or second. What you would like to do next?
I will go first, and my first question is: do they play in the NFC?
No.
Do they play basketball?
Yes.
Do they play in the Western Conference?
No.
Is it Chris Middleton?
It is Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton. It is Mr. Torrey Anderson. Does he have to have a big night tonight for the Hawks to lose?
Does he have
No,
to
Trae Young's out.
No, Trae Young is out. I think a shorthanded Hawks team is in big trouble. DeAndre Hunter's out too, and I didn't know that as well.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
huge.
So, honestly, in order for them to have a prayer tonight, the Hawks, they need Kevin Huerter to step up and be like the man tonight.
They've been playing pretty well so far. They got out to a nice lead of like 15-5, but now the Bucks have kind of fought their way back into it. If I'm telling you right now, I'm calling this. Whoever wins this game tonight goes on to win the series. Because Trae will come back. If the Hawks can win this game here, that would be so huge for them. It would be crazy if they were able to get one over the Bucks. Plus, they're playing at home too, so they got that going for them as well.
All right. So, Torrey, since you got this one right, or the last one right, 1-1 tie here. You get to pick first or second. What would you like to do?
I'll go second.
All right, Wyatt. What's your question?
Do they play in the NFC?
Yes.
Hey, there it is.
Is it Tom Brady?
It's not Tom Brady.
I was about to say, are they in the NFC South or North?
No,
Is it Dak Prescott?
it is not.
Do they play in the NFC East?
Yes.
Okay.
Do they play offense?
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Who?
Ezekiel Elliott.
No.
That was a
Is it
weird
Amari Cooper?
delay.
It is not Amari Cooper.
Do they even play for the Cowboys?
No.
Okay.
Is it Fitzmagic?
It is not.
Is it Jalen Hurts?
No.
Do they play for the Redskins
Yes, football
or
team.
the Washington football team?
Which
Ooh.
they're announcing their name sometime this week since the new CEO was named.
Which is what's
His wife.
Dan Snyder's wife.
Hot.
She is not an ugly woman. She is very good looking.
He paid her well. Pretty woman.
Scary Terry McLaurin.
Walking down the street. Nope.
Antonio Gibson.
Nope.
Logan Thomas.
No.
Curtis Samuel.
No.
Taylor Heineke.
Yes, Taylor Heineke
That's like the fifth time he's been used for stuff too. But
I
does.
was like, dude, there's
does
nobody
he start
else.
for the
What
football
is-
team this year?
what is it with you guys obsessed with Taylor Heineke?
He's
because-
going to be
Both of you.
good.
Both of you are obsessed with him.
because
Then
the
your man
question
crush-
stands: is he going to start this year for the football team?
Yes.
No, is that? I want to know. Is that both of your man crush? Do you guys have
No.
a bromance for Taylor Heineke?
Mine's
No,
actually
my man
Peyton
crush
Barber.
is Aaron Rodgers. Everybody already knows this. Next question.
All right. So Wyatt, you are in the lead at 2-1 tonight. We are playing to the best of 3 here. So
Ooh.
this is possibly game winner for you. You want to go first
Got
or
that
second?
2-1 lead. Can't lose it now.
You want to go first or second?
I want to go first.
All right. What is your question?
Do they play in the AFC?
No.
Do they play fencing?
No.
Do they play baseball?
No.
Do they play basketball?
No.
Do they play in the AFC South?
No.
Wait, you said no to the AFC, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they play in the NFC. Do they play in the NFC North or South?
Yes.
Is it Tom Brady?
No.
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Do they play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
No.
Do they play in the NFC North?
No.
Is it Jameis Winston?
No.
Is it okay, I could
No.
I could ask if it's a quarterback here, but yeah, is it a quarterback? Putting the pressure on you, Tori.
Yes.
All right, you got a 1-2 guess.
I do. Is it Sam Darnold?
No.
Is it Matty Ice?
No.
Is it Taysom Hill?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're kidding me.
Does Taysom Hill start for the Saints this year, Tori?
Yes, because Jameis Winston's an awful quarterback who's going to get benched, and Brandon's going to have to do the last dab. And then Taysom Hill comes in to lead the Saints to the promised land of a 6-11 record and a top 7.
All right, here we go. 2-2 winner take all.
All right, this is game 5. This is the first round of the WNBA where they still play 5-game series. Tori, you want to go first or second?
I'm going first this time.
All right, what's your question?
Are they a world-ranked kite surfer?
I believe so, actually.
Is it Curly, Moe, or Larry? No, I'm just kidding. Do they play football?
No.
Do they know how to play Parcheesi?
Oh, I don't believe so. Let me Google it. No.
Do they play basketball?
Yes.
Is it Devin Booker?
No.
Do they play in the Eastern Conference?
No.
I already got it. Is it Paul George?
No.
Is it LeBron James?
It is LeBron James. It is LeBron James. Wyatt with the victory tonight. So my question for you, are you guys excited to see Space Jam?
Yes.
I think I still have it on VHS.
Me too. No lie. We actually just watched it the other day. And
dude, I watched the OG Space Jam, the original Space Jam, probably once every 2 weeks. I freaking love that movie.
If
I cannot
LeBron
wait to
James
see the one with
butchers
LeBron.
this movie, I'm going to go. If LeBron James butchers this movie and makes it bad, I'm going to go.
I can guarantee you this. No matter what, if the movie is the greatest movie of all time, old heads across America will be like, it was terrible because it had LeBron James. I can promise you that right now. I promise.
Did you just make fun of people with the speech impediment, Wyatt?
Yeah.
No, I made fun of Combs.
I mean, that's not. I mean, because it sounded like
I am the goat, Bo. I appreciate you, man.
What do you have against people with disabilities, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Nothing. Why are you bringing that into it?
Because you're making fun of me and Tori right now.
Yeah, you made fun of a speech impediment.
Yeah.
That's not nice. ADA is coming after you, my friend. ADA. Americans with
just coming after
Disability
you because you took it to that. I didn't mean that.
Why?
That.
Do you remember that April Fool's joke that we pulled on you that we were going to cancel the show? You might legitimately have just pushed me over the edge. You are pissing me off about making fun of me. I'm not even lying.
Bro, I hated that day. I'm literally in the car with my girlfriend's family in the middle of Ohio.
You are destroying the show, hands down, right now. I'm kidding.
And that's all we'll hear from Wyatt for a little while.
So the reason why I asked you guys this question, do you think LeBron James will ruin Space Jam? Because I watched Angels in the Infield last night. Have you guys seen Angels in the Outfield? It was a pretty good, it was a cheesy, good kid show, right?
Danny Glover was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah. So the Angels in the Infield was basically the exact opposite. You know, they basically try to remake it and not give you any basis of the storyline and just
it's a real thing.
What?
I thought you were joking. I thought you were having a play on words with Angels in the Outfield. Is there really an Angels in the Infield? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it was made in 2000, I think, when it was. I literally wasted 2 hours of my life. It was the worst freaking movie I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
It's like Bench Warmers. Bench Warmers 1 is seriously it's one of my favorite sports movies of all time. Bench Warmers. Okay. The second one, though, I watched 5 minutes and I was like, this is trash. I refuse to watch this.
Yeah. What really upset me is I was 45 minutes into it. I'm like, man, I'm invested. I got to finish it, right?
Right. You gotta finish what you started, my boy.
Man, Tori, it was so bad. Bo is way with me. Angels in the Outfield is a classic, and yeah,
Absolutely.
like I absolutely love how they gave you the story of like why the Angels came. You know, like, hey, my dad will come back when the Angels win the pennant. Can you help me win the pennant for the Angels or some shit like that? Yeah. The Angels in the infield didn't give you any of that. No bases, and the girl just starts flapping her hands like, "Oh, the Angels are like here." Why? Like there was just there was no story.
It's Tuesday. They just showed up.
Yeah. Movie that came out around the same. Both these came out at the same time. Better movie, Angels in the Outfield or Rookie of the Year?
Oh, Rookie of the Year.
I think Angels in the Outfield. God, that's such a good one too. Because Rookie of the Year has the cup. Yeah, I'm gonna still take Angels in the Outfield. It's a classic. It's so good.
Rookie of the Year is classic too.
It's a classic, but it's not Angels in the Outfield a classic. Like Angels in the Outfield is considered one of the best baseball movies of all time. When you talk about best baseball movies of all time, you don't hear Rookie of the Year.
So what do you hear?
There's only one Major League, and that's all you hear. Wyatt, if you say anything else, too bad. You're already muted. I'm not even going to let you respond to that.
Field of Dreams is good.
Sandlot.
Sandlot's overrated.
No, stop. Sandlot is the greatest baseball movie of all time.
Sandlot's right up there with Hoosiers, overrated.
Yeah.
Oh,
did you guys ever see Sandlot 2?
No, that one's terrible too.
No.
Yeah, it was just like
Sandlot,
in the infield. Horrible.
Sandlot 2, Welcome to the Sarlacc Pit. What?
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. It was kind of like little Rascals too. They butchered that.
Yeah.
Horrible.
You know what movie they should have made a second on, but never did? Dodgeball.
Little Giants. Oh.
Dodgeball should have had a second. They should have had the second Dodgeball.
No, you don't mess with perfection.
Yeah, you don't mess with perfection.
That's true. That's true.
So how would you have made a second Dodgeball? Would you just like add it on to it, like after they won the gym back or something, or like how would you?
Yeah, like just
kind of remake.
You kind of like see.
We don't care what you think, Wyatt, because you cannot hit perfection. Guys, we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we're going to do buy, sell, and sleeper New York Giants version. Not New York Giants, New York Jets, New York Football Jets. We're going to give you players to buy, players to sell, and sleeper players for the upcoming season. Wyatt, don't mess with perfection. Never do it, man. Never do it. We'll be right back, guys, here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheisel and D.Y. Williams and Mr. Torrey Anderson himself. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course, iHeartRadio, or simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour. Hit that subscribe button. We upload clips each and every day, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m., and 8 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. But we do got some big things happening over here on the Man Hour. As I bring the boys back onto the screen here, I'm going to kick it to Torrey. Torrey, let us know what is happening with the fantasy football clips coming up here. We're getting the first one for you guys free July 4th at 8 p.m. But let them know what's going on with that.
We're going to be free. You know why that clip's going to be coming out on July 4th? Free? Because this is America. This is the land of the free. So, America. And what to expect? You can expect all the stuff you need to win your fantasy football league. Bo, you should go check it out because I may have some stuff in there about a certain Detroit Lion who I have a lot of faith in as a player this year. So I'm going to talk to you about, what players to pick up, what players to drop, who to trade, who to hold on to. There's going to be rough patches. There's going to be guys that you're like, should I cut him? No, bring me your trade packages. Bring me everything. And right there, I suppose I should put it on camera. Right there, tweet it at me. Go to the Man Hour Facebook page. Send us a question on Messenger. Whatever way you got to do it to get your question to us, I will help you win your league. 2018, when I won my title then, I was 15-0. First ever undefeated team in a 12-team league. I won my league last year with a 12-3 record. So in the last 10 years, I've actually won 4 titles, finished second twice, and I have not finished worse than 4th place in that stretch.
There you go. So the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Torrey Anderson, will give you free fantasy football advice on July 4th at 8 p.m. here on the Man Hour YouTube channel, youtube.com/Man Hour. But if you are a member, you will get all fantasy football footage every Wednesday at 11 a.m. uploaded to the members only page. How do you become a member? You head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and simply hit the join button. As little as $2.99 a month, you get access to all of that. So big things happen over here on the Man Hour. But guys, it is time to get into the headlines of the show here. We've been doing buy, sell, sleeper picks throughout the year so far. We've covered the Cowboys, we've covered the Eagles, we covered the Green Bay Packers, and now it is time to get over to the AFC side of things a little bit and talk about the New York Football Jets. So, Torrey, I want you to give me a player that you are buying for this 2021 season. Who is going to have a great year for the New York Football Jets?
I'm going to tell you right now, this gentleman, even though it's the Jets, is going to be a Pro Bowl player this year. Mark my words, right now, going to the Pro Bowl. I am buying. No. I'm taking Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton, I think, takes a huge step forward this week. What?
I said yes. I love Mekhi. Go ahead. Sorry.
So
I'm agreeing with you. I'm supporting you.
All I heard was,
That's weird.
So
I'm full sale supporting you, Torrey.
Yeah, full sale versus Morehead State. So give me Mekhi Becton all year long. I think Mekhi Becton is a rising talent in this league. He's going to anchor that offensive line for the next 10 to 12 years. And Mekhi Becton from the University of
Louisville. U of L.
You guys are way behind, man. Tommy Jackson would be so disappointed in you.
Why? Give me a player to buy this year.
Well, I was going to go with Mekhi Becton, but I don't want to. I don't want to double down on it. So I'm going to switch this over here to Corey Davis. We saw what he had done in Tennessee as a nice little number 2 option behind A.J. Brown. I think that he provides a vital role for this team as a wide receiver 1, depending on what Jamison Crowder does, which we'll talk about him a little later. But Corey Davis did some incredible things in Tennessee last year. And last year he was a solid option every week in fantasy football. And fantasy football is all based on performance and how you play. Every week he provided at least 10 points, I believe it was, something like that. He's a guy who gets a lot of receptions. He doesn't drop a lot of balls. He makes good decisions. He's a good, smart football player, and I like him a lot on this team. So I will buy Corey Davis.
All right, so those are two players that you guys are buying here, and I'm scrolling through the chat here, and not get too far off topic. But Bo says he does partake in fantasy football, so I'm going to break the news to you guys right now that everybody that's listening to us on YouTube.com/Man Hour, we will be having a Man Hour fantasy football league. So we will be having a guys. You want to make it a 12 person league or 8? 12
team league.
Okay,
12 team league is a nice one.
Okay, so we will do a 12-team man-hour league. So it's first come, first serve. We will post a link on our community tab in the YouTube channel once it is created. So, and then we'll, post the draft time and all that stuff. We should probably do that live on air. Like, how cool would that be?
That would be fun. So, just to quote the movie Grandma's Boy, all right, you effing nerds, light up. Who wants a shot at the champ?
Oh, all righty here. So, for every team that you have a buyer on, you always have a seller. Since Wyatt is on my top left right here, Wyatt, who are you selling for the New York Football Jets this year?
Well, my sell is Tevin Coleman. And no disrespect at all to Tevin Coleman, but, we've seen a big decline in his career ever since he left Atlanta. He went out to San Francisco. He was supposed to be awesome. Everybody was expecting big things from him, and we didn't really hear much. I know injuries played a big part in that, but he just wasn't what we thought he was going to be. He wasn't what he was in Atlanta, and I expect that trend to continue. Honestly, I don't even know if he's going to be the RB1 all year, because I think Ty Johnson might take a little bit of a a stab at that, because of course Ty Johnson got some reps at that last year. So, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily even be surprised if week 1 some things switch around. Just as long as he's healthy, he'll be a decent back. But I'm expecting a little bit of a downward slope still continuing on for Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman is your buy player, or your sell player. Tori, who is your sell player for the New York Jets this year?
Is there really a question about this? It was through the whole process of all the offseason. There's only one player to sell on this team. Zach Wilson is trash.
Oh, my God.
So, to me, Zach Wilson is going to be awful. He's going to be out of the league. I think he'll make it through his rookie contract of 4 years before they realize he's complete trash, and then he'll be out of the league. Or maybe somebody will pick him up to be a camp arm, think they can convert him into maybe a suitable quarterback, and he will still be trash. So I'm going to sell every single year Zach Wilson that he is in the league. So you know what that means?
You're horribly wrong.
That means he'll probably be a Hall of Fame quarterback because I hate him.
So you heard it here first. Zach Wilson will be a Hall of Fame quarterback for the New York Football Jets, per Tori Anderson.
By the guy that probably hates him the most in the world.
Tori, just to kind of add some conversation here to this piece, we've seen the Jets cut ways with Sam Darnold, and I think Sam Darnold is going to have a particular good season. We will talk about that when we get to the Carolina Panthers here in the next few weeks. But do you think Zach Wilson will have to leave New York to have a good career?
I mean, every other New York quarterback probably almost has, with the exception of Mark Sanchez, and
Joe
they
Namath.
could only get to. They could get to even Joe Namath left.
Well, but he won a Super Bowl there. I mean, he didn't do anything else outside. He was still okay, but
look at it. But over the last 30 years, they've just been a rotating door for quarterbacks. Outside of Mark Sanchez, in the early 2000s, outside of Ken O'Brien in the mid 80s to the early 90s, they've been a rotating door. They've had such amazing names like, Browning Nagel. They drafted.
That's a great name.
Browning Bagel.
That's a great name.
What was the kid that they drafted? Geno
Smith.
Smith. Yep. From West Virginia.
Loved Geno.
Gino's actually a backup for Seattle right now.
Yeah. So there again, at least he's still in the league, but he had to get out of there because the Jets destroy quarterbacks almost as bad as like the Cleveland Browns did for like 40 years.
Do you think it's the Jets franchise or is it the New York media?
I would say it's the franchise because Eli had no problem for many years until his abilities left him. You know?
No, I think it is the New York media because I think the New York media has always been more favorable toward the Giants because they're actually in New York. I think that, of course now both teams are together.
They're not.
But for so long,
they're both in Jersey.
I know they're both in East Rutherford, blah. But for so long, the Giants were widely considered like the New York team, and the Jets were always considered the New Jersey team. And I think that still kind of rings true in that area. So I think that the New York media will always kind of have a bias toward the Giants because they are, in a sense, I mean, I know they're both New York, but the Giants have always kind of been that actual New York team, and the Jets have always been the outcast in Jersey.
Interesting. So, guys, we've given you a player to buy, a player to sell. What about a sleeper player? What player that's been flying under the radar that's going to have a standout year? Tori, going to kick it to you first since you're on my left.
So Wyatt was over there dogging on Tevin Coleman, talking about, it was injuries and stuff like that. I'm going to agree with him. I think Tevin Coleman's not even the starter come week 1. I don't think Ty Johnson is the starter come week 1. I'm going with the rookie
Carter?
they took. I'm going with Michael Carter out of North Carolina. Right. I really, really like the upside of this kid. I really like what Mac Brown is doing at North Carolina. He's starting to develop some really nice talent there, and it's starting to translate now to the NFL. I think Michael Carter has a surprise rookie season, and he's one of those guys about 6 or 7 weeks in. We're like, man, I didn't see this one coming. But guess what? You heard it here first from the man himself.
Wyatt, give me a sleeper.
Yeah, I like that pick, though, from you, Tori. The only thing that I see with him that a lot of people have an issue with is that height. Him only being like, I think he's like 5'8"-ish, somewhere in there. A lot of people find
Barry
that.
Sanders.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying a lot of people have issues with that. I mean, we've seen that plenty with, Tutu Atwell.
You know what small running backs can do? Small running backs can hide behind their offensive linemen to find.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that's a great pick. And I actually considered Carter, but my pick that I'm going to go with, I was going to go with Zach Wilson too, but Tori did dog him. So now I got to go in another situation. But the clear favorite, in my opinion, for a sleeper, and this was the guy who was the sleeper last year, and that's going to be Jamison Crowder. That guy can pop off in a game for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the major sports news outlets will never cover it. It's insane. This guy could literally have a 400-yard game, and they will not cover it, I promise. Not actually that far, but if he has a 150-yard game, I promise you they won't cover it because they did it all last year. He would come in and just rack up receptions. There were games last year, for the first, I think it was 3 or 4 games, he averaged like 10 receptions a game. And it's like, how is nobody seeing this guy? How is nobody turning their eye? Well, because he plays for the Jets. They're turning the blind eye to him. So he is my big sleeper for this team. He's been a sleeper most of his career, especially since he got in New York last year. People overlooked him all last year, and he had a great season last year for what he had to work with, which is the Jets coaching staff and Adam Gase, which is literally terrible. But all that aside, they've got Saleh in there now, and I think Saleh's going to do some pretty good things. I like his defensive philosophies that he brings to the table. I think it will add to the New York Jets defense. So I'm excited to see what he does. So my sleeper here for the New York Jets is going to be Jamison Crowder.
All right, guys. So those are 6 names that you guys are needing to buy, sell, and sleeper picks. So this is not fantasy wise. This is just strictly NFL season wise. So we will be covering more teams throughout the Monday through Thursday here moving forward. We're going to cover all 30 teams. So if you guys would like to hear what we say about your favorite team, simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on the playlist, and we have a playlist for your team. So if you want to know what we're talking about, the Detroit Lions, click on the Detroit Lions playlist, and bada bing, bada boom, all the clips are right there for the Detroit Lions, as I am updating that week daily, actually, like almost hourly. Actually, I've spent almost 8 hours today uploading that today. So you guys were talking about short people and what they can do. Do you want to know what short people on the Man Hour can do? absolutely
I don't know,
nothing
ask
and
Gomes.
not show up to work. I'm just gonna put that out here.
They can knock the electricity out and have to stay at work until odd hours at night.
He was so mad over text, and he sent that picture. And I looked at it and I was like, man, I'm not a construction worker by any means at all, but I can tell when something is broken, and I can tell you right now that thing, whatever that was, that metal piece that was hanging down, it was broken. It was bad. And he was so mad at that.
It was the power into the house. But
Yeah,
guys,
I
let's
felt
get
so
into
bad for him.
let's get into some sports headlines here. We are doing shop talk. We all are opening up the phone lines tonight. So if you would like to call into the phone line at 9:45 East Coast time, you can check us out 812-406-8384. I'll put the banner up across the screen as soon as the phone lines are open. But since we are on the topic of football here, and I have this down, so I'm going to bump this up because I want to cover this tonight. Davante Adams has been rumored to make his way to Las Vegas after his contract is up in Green Bay. Wyatt, I'm going to kick it to you first because you are a Green Bay fan and you speak with fandom, and Tori is a Green Bay fan, but he speaks with logic and outside interest looking in. So I feel like we're going to have two different opinions here.
Definitely not.
Does Davante Adams leave Green Bay after this 2021 season?
I can almost guarantee you right now, with what I'm about ready to say, that Tori is either going to say, excuse me, the exact same thing or agree with me completely. No, Davante Adams is not leaving Green Bay. No, I'm tired of any time that some Green Bay Packers name gets brought up into them possibly leaving, the media goes crazy. Oh my, well, Aaron Rodgers is leaving. Now we got Davante Adams is leaving. Like, everybody's leaving. It's like, why is everybody leaving? But yet they continue to stay every single year. I am not 100% sure. I don't want to speak for Tori, but I can almost guarantee you he's going to agree with me that that there's no way. Now, maybe later in his career, but no, not because he wants to go pair up with Derek Carr or whatever the story was. I promise. No, it's not.
Maybe it's because he wants to get paid. Ever think about that?
Packers will pay him, I promise.
Okay. Tori, what are your thoughts?
Why, you obviously do not listen to a word I say, because there is a chance that Davante leaves. There is 110% a chance he leaves. Because guess what? The NFL is still about making money. The NFLPA is about players making the most amount of money. And if a team can offer a lot more money to Davante Adams than the Green Bay Packers can, the hometown discount is out the window. He is going to take that because guess what? That now ups the pay for the next wide receiver that hits the market. There again, Green Bay also has a reputation for letting guys walk that tend to cost too much money. They've done it repeatedly. They pull off, it seems like every year they pull off a surprise cut. They did it with Josh Sitton. They did it with TJ Lang. They let Charles Woodson walk instead of letting him finish his career. They cut Jordy Nelson they cut loose. They actually didn't cut Jordy, but they let him leave via free agency. So there's
Randall Cobb, Jake Kumaro.
They cut Jake though. They cut Jake Kumaro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just cut ties with them and split them.
But there again, for you to say no, he's not going, wrong. There is a legitimate chance he is not in a Green Bay Packer uniform. Is it going to be the Raiders? I don't know. I don't know what their cap situation looks like. But I guarantee you, if somebody like the Dolphins, who still have a ton of cap space left, throw at it, they might try to sign him, and so they could have 5 Pro Bowl receivers on their roster because they've already got people lined up there. Maybe it's somebody like Cleveland. Say Cleveland lets OBJ go, or they get rid of him. They step up and they sign him because they've got cap room still. So never say never with any of that stuff. I could 110% see him leave Green Bay next year.
Yeah, and if Aaron Rodgers isn't there, what is the reason for him to stay there? I mean, he isn't going to get the ball as much. I mean, they aren't going to be a playoff caliber team, so why not go somewhere where he can compete and win a Super Bowl, because they're not going to do it in Green Bay this year or next year or the year after that. They're not going to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Tori, I see your eye twitching there, but you know, I'm right. This year, the Packers are not winning a Super Bowl.
You are wrong. Again, folks, I apologize. We will check him into rehab after the show is done.
How am I wrong? Because the Packers won't make it past the first round if they make it to the playoffs.
They make it past the first round every year. The problem is the NFC Championship, not the first round.
They're playing the Cowboys the first round. They're not going to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, except if they were to play the Cowboys in the first round, it'd be at Lambeau.
No,
and there is not. There's
it will
not
be
a chance
at AT&T Stadium.
If it's at AT&T, Aaron Rodgers win. I hope it's at AT&T.
Aaron Rodgers is undefeated at AT&T.
He's never lost a Super Bowl or a game at AT&T. I don't think something like that. He's never lost a playoff game at AT&T.
Well,
I hope it's at AT&T.
It is going to be at AT&T. Dak Prescott's going to go for 5 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers
fingers crossed. I hope it is.
I was going to say, at that point, then Aaron throws for 6 touchdowns, and the defense bails out the Packers.
Right. Mason Crosby kicks a game winner.
Jace Sternberger has his Jared Cook moment, toe drag to put us in the field goal range.
Just like drives on that sideline. Dude, that is still one of the craziest throws I've ever seen. It was ridiculous.
Throw was craziest catch. That's one of the craziest catches.
It took both, yeah.
That is a catch, unlike Dez.
Crazy.
Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
But no, I'm hoping it's there.
Cowboys win the Super Bowl. They beat the Packers, Buccaneers on the way to the Super Bowl. That is all. So,
God. Is it the 90s? Did we flash back to the 90s? The Cowboys remember how to win a Super Bowl again?
No. But Paul George last night, guys, had a career night. He had 41 points as the Clippers beat the Suns to extend the series to a game 6. So, why? I'm going to kick it to you first. Can Paul George and the Clippers win 2 more games and win the series without Kawhi Leonard?
First off, I want to bring up Tyronn Lue, that as a coach, he has the greatest winning percentage facing elimination ever. Like no other coach is even close. He's won, I believe now, Tori, isn't it like 9 like game winning, or where the other team had three wins? Isn't it like 9 wins now that he's facing elimination? He's won those games, like 9 games now. Yeah. Something like that. It's crazy. Tyronn Lue wins so many games while facing elimination. But no, to finish out what I was saying, I don't think without Kawhi they're going to do it. I think with Kawhi they wouldn't be able to do it. I still think this is a good series. I still think it probably goes to 6, maybe 7. I don't.
Sure.
Huh?
It is going to 6.
I know. I'm just saying it'll go to 6 and it may go to 7. I'm not 100% sure, but the Suns will come away with it. This is the Suns' year. I mean, it is the Suns' championship to lose at this point. If they lose, it will be 100% the Suns' fault. This is their best shot they've probably ever had to win it, honestly. LeBron's out. Luka's out. Here soon, Kawhi is going to be out. KD is out. They don't have to face the Nets. I mean, the worst thing they're going to have to face right now is looking like the Bucks. And nothing, I'm not taking anything away from the Bucks.
But you are.
But like,
you just
the
did.
Bucks.
Waffler.
Oh my God. But the Bucks, I mean, the East is not anywhere as near as good as it normally is, A, and B, the only, they're the best team in the East.
What do you mean
Nets.
Normally?
Well, normally the East is insane. But once LeBron left, it's kind of died down a little bit. East is not anywhere as good as it used to be.
It's been the West for like the last 20 years. So it's not, you're not making that much of a point, because in the 80s and the 90s, guess what? It was the East. So it's a pendulum. It swings both ways.
Well, yeah, but I know, but like LeBron was going to the finals every year. The East was a continuous dominant team always, or whatever team was there. Now it's not nearly as good as it was. And I think that this is the Suns' year to do it. So no, I don't think the Clippers are going to pull this one out, especially with the claw out. I mean, if he was in, I think they of course have a much better shot at it, but no, I think that they're gonna find that choke, and they will do it, and then the Suns go on to win it.
You know who swings both ways and finds the choke a lot?
LeBron.
BC. Tori, can the Clippers win 2 more games?
I don't even know what the question is anymore because I'm watching Bo in the chat at this point.
Trusty farts is precarious.
Trusty farts is precarious.
That is 100% facts. So I just let a fart go, and I'm the only one in here, and I'm looking around, and I had to like check myself to make sure I didn't poo. So I definitely 100% agree with that. I also had Mexican today for lunch, so it's been like liquid drain coming out. But
oh my Lord, you had Mexican again? Man, I pull up to meet Buck after his computer broke the other day at El Nopal. It's a little Mexican restaurant in our area. And he's in the car with River. And I'm like, what are you all doing out here? And he's like, little man in the back decided he was not going to be good tonight. I'm like, what did he do? He goes, he threw 2 plates of rice on the floor. And River was sitting back there like singing. And I looked at him. He goes, hi. I was like, what's up, River? What's going on, bub? He was like, nothing. Just kind of turned and looked the other way. It was so funny.
Tori, if this was 1900s again, I would have whooped that kid's ass so fast, dropped his pants in front of everybody, blackened his ass, dude. But whatever.
I have actually been witnessing that. I have had that happen to me in that El Nopal too. When I was a kid, there was one night, I don't remember what I was doing, but I was being a little craphead, of course. And my mom and my dad was like, if you don't stop, I'm going to have to take you to the bathroom and give you spankings. And I'm like, I just shrugged it off. Okay, whatever. Kept acting like an idiot. And sure enough, right in front of everybody, he did it. He did it right there in front of everybody at the Sellersburg El Nopal. I'm telling you, man, you get one good whipping and you remember for the rest of your life, hey, I'm not going to do that again.
Tori, let me ask you this question. You kind of grew up in the generation that like I did. Did your dad count to 3, like 1, 2, 3, and then like spank,
No,
ain't you?
It was if you really screwed up, is wait till your dad gets home. And then you knew it was game over, and then you hid for your life until it was over. And half the time, sometimes I think the anticipation of getting the whooping was worse than the actual whooping.
100%. Well, like so like my dad would be like, I'm going to give you the count of 3 to sit your ass down, right? Like 1, 2, 3, and like I try to pass that down to my son. And I did it tonight at the supper table. He was standing at the supper table and just being a kid. I'm like, sit your butt down, and I'm going to give you the count of 3. And I go 1, 2, and then he goes 3, yay!
Oh my god!
I was like, I kind of just laughed. I'm like, I mean, good for counting, bud, but like that's not. That's not the purpose of why we're counting the 3.
My dad had this move.
This is the bad count.
My dad had this move where he would like pull his belt out and like catch it in midair and be like, pow! Like he had this. It was kind of cool looking, honestly, until you got popped, and then it wasn't cool anymore. But he had this like move where it was like belt out of the pants, psh, done. Gotcha.
You're just joking.
Jones.
Wyatt's dad never spanked them for all the social workers that are watching out there.
Right. I'm joking.
Bo says his mom was the one to fear. She was vicious. My grandma was the one to fear. My threat was don't make me tell your grandma. So my grandma watched 16 kids all through the ages of 16 and under every summer, and she kept us in check. So
16 kids?
Yeah, all my cousins, we all went to grandma's house during the summer.
Oh my god!
How did she not go broke trying to feed 16 kids?
Ramen noodles, tuna fish, and wooden spoons on the ass.
That's good. Oh my god, the best ever was what my sister got. My sister got the wooden spoon the one day for my mom, because my mom is a tiny little woman. Like you would never think that she'd be feared, but like I will agree with Bo. Like I feared my mom almost as much as my dad. But the best was my mom took the wooden spoon and got my sister and cracked her, and the spoon just splintered. It was like, it was like folklore. It was like the natural, like when he hits the home run at the end and the light shatters, like you just see the wooden spoon just explode.
I love the fact that in the natural, dude, we watched that in class, like on our last day of school. It's funny you mentioned that. He hits that light and like instead of just that light going crazy, like every light in the stadium starts like sparking and blowing up after that. It's like, I thought it just hit one light. Why are 97 lights around the entire stadium exploding right now?
It
makes no
surge.
sense.
It was an electrical surge.
Because that ball got lodged in that socket and took the current. And
you guys know what I
Maybe
love
it's
about the man hour.
explode.
You guys know what I love about the man hour.
that we go off the rails.
We were talking about Devontae Smith, and now we're talking about our moms beating our asses. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Love it. So, Tori, I got a wooden spoon story too. So my grandma's threat was the wooden spoon. And so I was being a jackass little 12-year-old boy. And I was just being a dick. And she spanked me. And she broke her favorite wooden spoon, as she said. So I got a spanking for being a jackass. And then I got a spanking for breaking her wooden spoon. So that was fun.
Got the double whooping.
Yeah. For no reason. I was a
Right.
freaking angel. Wow. Easy
Nice.
there. Was your mom Adrian Peterson?
Right. Like, like, if you laughed at that, did you like get like a cat of nine tails on you or what?
No, I don't know what is going on in the chat here, guys. But tuna farts gag a maggot. What are you guys talking about over there?
All right, so we've gone off the rails on the show. We've gone off the rails in chat. Cats and dogs getting along.
Let's go ahead and take a break and open up the phone line, boys. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
We'll be right back on the man hour, guys. Clean it up in the chat. Tuna farts gag maggots. What the hell?
Check the mic and make sure it's boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheist along with Tori Anderson and D. Wyatt Williams tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can check out the full show on Big X Sports Radio every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. here on the East Coast, 96.1 FM or 1450 AM. And of course, you can find us on youtube.com/Man Hour. Or if you want to listen to us on podcast form on the way to work or on the way from work, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. The phone lines are open, 812-406-8384, as we are starting our Shop Talk session. And with that being said, we do have our first caller of the night. Caller, what is your name?
What's up?
And we got Joey. We got Joey on the line, fellas. Joey, how is your night going, man? Hey, first things first, man. Joey, thanks for being a avid watcher here on youtube.com/manhour. We definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome about that. Okay, but I'm gonna go get to the chase real quick. Why? Literally nobody cares about you talking about LeBron. Literally nobody. Nobody agrees with you. That your statement is not true at all. Like literally.
What statement are you referring to, Joey?
I'm talking about. He's always talking about how these old people are hating about LeBron, and it's
True.
not even true.
It is true.
No one says that.
How is it not?
Combs and Torrey both hate on LeBron because he's young.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Young. LeBron's not young. He's only.
You're like a broken
younger
record.
than I
Well,
am.
these old people are saying LeBron sucks. Well, okay, we get it, man. We get it.
So Joey, let me ask you this question. Since we are on the phase of NBA and NBA finals are like happening, who is the greatest player in the NBA right now?
Right now.
Right now.
Taco Fall.
Taco Fall.
Hey, what team does Taco Fall play for?
The Celtics. My favorite team.
The Celtics is your favorite team?
Is that because Romeo's there?
No, I was there before he was.
I was there before he was.
You were there before he was. You played for them? You've played for them for longer than 4 years?
Yes.
So
I
let me
have.
ask you this question.
I was part of the big three. If you didn't know.
You are a Celtics fan, a Jaguars fan, right?
Yep.
And are you a Reds fan as well?
Yeah.
So do you just like throw darts at a board and say, I'm going to like this team?
I have a lot of reasons why.
Okay.
I like a bunch of sports.
Explain the reason why you like the Boston Celtics.
Okay, so I did like a project on them in like the 4th grade,
Okay.
and I don't
Couple
know
years
why
ago.
it just stuck with me.
Okay. Which that's cool. You mean you've been a Boston Celtics fan for about 3 years now. So what about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Tim Tebow, you already know this.
So you have just recently become a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
Yes.
So who is your team?
Joey,
before
aren't
that?
you a Packers fan?
Yeah. I thought you were a
I'm
Packers fan.
both. I'm both. You know,
No, not acceptable.
False.
It is. It is acceptable.
acceptable.
It is acceptable.
As
I'm on Joey's side with this.
as part owner of the team, that is not acceptable. You are no longer a Packer fan.
Oh my God.
And so
Fine. I don't need you guys anyway.
yeah, you do. We need you as much as you need us.
Nope.
Any last thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, I got one more to say.
Sure.
Tori, don't ban me from chat again, or I'm gonna come up all the way to Wisconsin to kick your ass. That's it. Goodbye.
Did you say bedroom chat?
Don't cross any lines, and we good.
What do you say about bedroom chat? What are you guys talking about in the
No,
bedroom
he
chat?
Corey
Banned.
kicked him off the chat.
No, I didn't kick him out. I put him in timeout he got a 300-second timeout for a certain comment he made when somebody's significant other was in here.
I guess we'll have to talk about that in the after show because I must have missed it.
Yeah.
I think I did too. We'll talk about it on the after show. Hey,
Yeah,
but that's
so-
the reason why you got to become a member is
Yeah.
to hear this kind of exclusive content.
Yeah, so guys, the after show is starting up here in about 15 minutes. If you are a member tonight, here in the description on the YouTube page, there is a link to the after show. So, guys, so the phone lines are open. 812-406-8384. I don't even know my own phone number anymore. That's weird. But guys, Jock Peterson has officially withdrawn his name from all head coaching considerations. He was considered for the Memphis job and the Mavericks job. Why do you think this is kind of him like saying, I don't want to be a head coach anymore? Like, isn't that kind of weird? Like, isn't that kind of like every like assistant coach's dream?
Jacques Peterson or Jacques Vaughn?
Oh, sorry, Jock Vaughn. I'm sorry. Jock Peterson just scored a Jace Peterson just scored a run. So that's my fault.
What team does Jace Peterson play for?
The Brewers. The Brewers are now up 2-1, by the way.
I know.
Over the
That's why I
Cubs.
said it. So I don't know. I think for him maybe it's the right fit. But like Penny Hardaway interviewed for like a couple of jobs too, and he said no, he's staying at Memphis. So for a lot of these guys, like for guys that might be in high demand like that, they can afford to wait for the right job that they want. It's got to be the right fit, the right job, stuff like that. And Jacques Vaughn Lame, the last 3-4 years, has been thrown around so much for head coaching jobs that he is basically a head coach in waiting. But he can wait until the next head coaching job opens up that he would like.
All right, guys. So before we continue that thought, we do have another caller on the line. Caller, what's your name?
Towner Perry. I'm calling saying hi to Wyatt Williams. But I hear you talking about, college coaching, going to NFL or NBA to college.
Yeah.
And I want to chime in and say that I don't, Jacksonville has a good thing going because Urban and Tim Tebow have chemistry together. But honestly, it truly is to get butts in the seats. I think Tim Tebow will actually ride the bench and only make the practice squad. Because if you look back at history, like Alabama coach, I'm blanking on his name right now. I think it's Nick Saban.
Yeah,
Nick Saban. Yeah.
Blanking on the name. He tried NFL. He went from LSU to NFL, and now he's back at Alabama because that's where he does good at. He does good at the college level, and I don't know about. I think Jacksonville is just trying to get butts in the seats.
Yeah,
and I don't think Urban Meyer is going to do well this season.
Yeah, well, first things first, you are 100% right. Tim Tebow was signed simply to put, because I believe he's the highest selling jersey, if I'm not mistaken, since he's even been rumored to sign with, since he signed his deal. So, this is clearly a money move for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, and he'll be saying a team prayer before every game.
I don't care about that one bit. But I also want to say that since Tim Tebow has that spotlight on him, it's going to make Trevor Lawrence's season a whole lot easier because we're all going to be worried about what is Tim Tebow doing? When is Tim Tebow going to get in there? It is all about Tim. So, he will be on the roster. He will be on the 52-man active roster. Don't get me wrong, but he will. So he will be on the bench in that 85 jersey or 86. I can't remember what number he is, but he will definitely be on the roster somewhere, simply so they can sell more jerseys. Because if he's on the practice squad, he won't have a jersey.
Understandable.
Any closing thoughts before we let you go?
Nope, I think that was it. What is with the chat going crazy about dog farts? I saw.
I don't know, man. That chat is so off the rail. I don't even look at it right now. They're talking about tuna farts and killing maggots. I don't know what's going on, man.
That's all I got for now.
All right, man. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate you for tuning in, Towner.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he brings up a great point there. Tim Tebow was signed simply for a publicity stunt. And Tori, I believe you're the first one to say that, right?
No, I think it was Wyatt, actually.
What was it, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Why isn't he number 2?
Because God's number 1.
Who number 1? What are you talking about?
Tebow. Why wouldn't he have picked number 2 to wear?
Oh, because he's a tight end.
Doesn't matter. You can pick your number now.
That was before the number change, I think.
Since he thinks he's the goddamn second coming of Jesus.
Oh, sweet God. So
that went sideways fast.
So whoever was calling in, you guys can call back again. We had 3 missed calls while Connor was on there. So feel free to call back. I was simply declining your call just so we could hear Connor talk. So definitely call back in, Joey. I think that's you. So feel free to call back in.
Call back in, Joey.
Please don't.
Please don't. Totally kidding. Just feel free to call back in. 812-406-838884. And seriously, Tori, are you monitoring this chat? What are they talking about? Now I see Joey versus everybody.
Yeah,
Joey versus some people. Detroit has already trademarked it. Like, what are they talking about?
Bo, Drew, why don't you guys call in? Let's hear about the whole dog fart situation.
No,
they're talking about dog farts. What is going on?
Yeah, they were talking about like the dog farts too. Like,
yeah,
no.
Rottweilers apparently have really bad farts. Is what
All
I
dogs
saw.
and all dogs have bad farts. Let's be honest.
There's a Boston Terrier in this house, and she has terrible farts too. But you don't hear me running around talking about it on a sports show.
Don't
Hey,
talk
'cause
about
she's
your
a
girlfriend
lady.
like that.
Why? She likes it rough, rough.
This show has been so sideways tonight. It is ridiculous.
It is
That's why
live,
I
raw,
love you
and
guys.
uncut. That's what it's been.
Luckily for us, I do edit it before we put it on Big X, so that's always a positive, right?
We have to. We have to. The show has to go till 2:50 or for 2 hours and 15 minutes tonight. So Buck has 15 minutes of clips that he can insert in the places where we started talking about dog farts.
No, I'm definitely leaving the dog farts in there 100% because that's who we are. We talk about anything, right?
Right. We're dog farts. That's who we are.
Thank you for calling the Man Hour. Who do we got on the phone here? Who we got here?
Yeah, this is Chuck. Buck.
Hey.
I'm a big fan of fencing.
Hey, Chuck, no caller ID. You put the *67 and wow, Joey, way to prank call your own show. that a kid. 2 Girls, 1 Cup was brought up earlier. Actually, 2 Girls, 1 Cup was brought up earlier. So
By
fun
you.
Fun fact. Actually, let's talk about that on the after show. Why we brought up the 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Actually, why Wyatt brought it up. So
I never actually brought it up. I don't want people to look this up and be like, "Oh, why is Wyatt watching that?" I'm not. Okay.
You are.
Wyatt was watching it, and he told everybody about it. He's like, "Dude, you got to check this out because I really like ice cream."
Yeah, it was, and then you got like 4 girls in finger paint or something like that, something ridiculous. I don't know.
It's all nasty. It's all weird.
Think about it, Tori. You know 2 girls, 1 cup. Now double that, 4 girls and finger paint. Why do you care to explain that to Tori?
No.
You can certainly try.
Your
grandma is in the chat.
My grandma is watching. I will not be taking part in any fingernail situation you are talking about.
Finger
paint, whatever that is.
Wyatt, Devontae Adams is leaving Green Bay. I actually just saw a tweet saying he is out after this season.
No, he.
You are absolutely been muted, Wyatt. Nice
Walked
try.
right into it.
Have a great night. Tori, to send us out.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yes, sir. After show, let's do it.